In this lecture, we will talk about introducing while loops. The for loop takes a collection of items and executes a block of code once for each item in the collection. In contrast, the while loop runs as long as or while a certain condition is true. You can use a while loop to count up through a series of numbers. For example, the following while loop counts from 1 to 5. So create number 1, a variable called number, create a variable called current number. We assign a value 1 first. Then there is a while loop, a conditional test. So while, if conditional number less than or equal to 5, we will run this block inside the while loop, and we print current this number, and we will add 1 to this number. Add 1 to this number. This is the shorthand form for the current number equals current number plus 1. Then this number will be 2. And we will go back. We'll check again for this while loop. If it is still match this condition, then we'll run this again. So until the number is larger than 5, then we will skip this block, while block, then we'll run the next statement after the while block. So here it is clear. In the first line, we start counting from 1 by setting the value of current number to 1. Then the while loop is then set to keep running as long as the value of current number is less than or equal to 5. The code inside the loop prints the value of current number and then adds 1 to that value with current number plus equal 1. The plus equal operator is shorthand for current number equals current number plus 1. And Python repeats the loop as long as the condition current number less than or equal to 5 is true. And in the while loop, sometimes we can let the user choose when to quit. In the following program, we define a while loop. We then define a quit value and then keep the program running as long as the user has not entered the quit value. So first, we will create one string called prompt. There are 2 lines. The first line tells me something, and I will repeat it back to you. And the second line of the prompt to the user is enter quit to end the program. So if the user does not enter quit and end others message, then the message will be printed out. But if the user enter quit, so the while loop will be stopped, and then start with a message with an empty string, because the while loop starts to compare message if not equal to quit. So we must have a message, even though this message is an empty string, but we have to create this variable first. Otherwise, there will be error because Python does not find a message variable. So first, to create an empty message, then we'll start while loop to compare message if it is not equal to quit. So if it is true, then the message will be assigned with the user input value using input function with the prompt we created here. So if the message is not quit, then we'll assign the user input message to this message, and we will print message. Then go back to the while loop and check again the message's value. So if this time user still not put in quit, then we will assign this user input value to message again and then print a message. And next we'll run, still go back to the while loop, to the conditional tests, if this time, for example, user put input quit here, then we'll skip this while block because this conditional test is false because user input quit, but the message is not quit. This conditional test is a fail. So the block of while block will be skipped. We'll run the statement after the while block. So this program works well, except that it prints the word quit as if it were an actual message. So a simple test fixes this. Because in the last program, if user put quit, then the while test will be, because we see again here, if this time user does not put quit, then this statement is true. Then we go to the while block. But then when the process accepting the input from the user put quit here. Then the message is quit and will print quit. Then next run will be false. We'll skip the while block. But the quit message is printed out. So we will fix this. So this program works well, except that it prints the word quit last time before the while block is stopped, if it were an actual message. So a simple if test to fix this. We can use a simple if test to fix this. So we write again, just add one if test. So message while user does not input quit. So while conditional test is true, then we go to the inside the block of the while loop, then accept a message from the user. But if user put quit here, input quit here, the message will be quit. So next we will have a if test. If message is not quit, then we print a message. So if the message is quit, we will not print a message. And we will go outside of the while loop because the message is quit and the while loop test message is not quit, is false. So we will stop the while loop and still not print the quit message. Now we talk about using a flag. In the previous example, we had a program perform certain tasks while given condition was true. But what about more complicated programs in which many different events could cause the program to stop running? If many possible events might occur to stop the program, trying to test all these conditions in one while statement becomes complicated and difficult. For a program that should run only as long as many conditions are true, you can define one variable that determines whether or not the entire program is active. This variable, called a flag, acts as a signal to the program. We can write our program so they run while the flag is set to true and stop running when any of several events sets the value of the flag to false. So let's add a flag to the previous program. This flag, which we will call active, so we can call it anything, will monitor whether or not the program should continue running. So the same prompt variable, and now we assign a variable called active to true. The starting value is true. So we write while loop can just write while active. So while active means if the active is true, we will run the block inside the while loop. So if the active, for example, is false, we will not run this block, then skip while block and run the next statement. So the active value is true first. So while active is true. So we will run the block now, and the message will be assigned with a value from the user input. Then if the message is quit, then we will change active to false. Active to false. And if the message is not quit, then we will print this message. If the message is not quit, then we will else here print message and loop back to the while active. So for example, if the user print a message is not quit, we will print this message and go back to the while loop conditional test. Because the active still is true, because active has not been changed to false, so still true, we will go to the block again, then user input a message again, input the value to the message. Then this time, for example, if the user input a quit, then we will change active to false, and print message will be skipped. Then we'll go back to the while active conditional test again. Because the active is false, so we will stop running while loop and go to the next statement. And the message will not be printed out because the message is quit. We will run all these codes in Spyder. We will go to lecture 3 in this source file called user input and while loop, section 6, user input and while loop. The file could be downloaded from the GitHub link, which has been put in the description of this video. And in the first, we will loop counts from 1 to 5. Start with a value current number is equal to 1. Then we will run a while loop. If the number is less than or equal to 5, we will print this number and add 1 to this number. So first 5 number 1 to 5 is being printed out. And here we let the user choose when to quit. Then this is a prompt message to the user. Then we start an empty value to the message and create an empty value. Then a while loop. If the message is not quit, we print this, import this message and print this message. If it is quit, we'll print a message also and stop. We will try to this. So user will put message, we'll have hello, this time we write hello, and hello is printed out. Hello is printed out. We have Python, hi Python, next. Hi Python is printed out. Then last time we write quit also printed out, but also the end of the while loop is stopped here. So quit also printed out. This is not perfect. So we will does not next code is does not show message when user input quit. We add an if test here. So only if the message is not quit, then print message. So this is the same prompt. Run this, and this is also same. We'll run this. We'll see. So now, hello, put into hello, hello. Hey Python, hey Python. But if we write quit, no quit is printed out, and the block and the while loop is stopped. And using a flag, with a flag here, same, and active, the value is true. Then the while loop, run this. Hey Python, printed out quit. If we write quit, stopped. That's correct.